He's not hearing us right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens to you when he says all of these things about you being late? What goes on inside of you that you would never tell him?
That I would never say?
Yeah.
I just kind of give up. I don't really care.
And why is that? Do you know?
I mean, probably out of some sense of hopelessness that it doesn't really matter what I do. And the best thing he could do would be to fire me.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess a sense of defeat is what would be my real truth.
Yeah, and so even though I said you don't hear it because we are going in and out of role play, you heard it. Within the role play, he would never say this to you. But as you are thinking about it right now, if somebody has such a sense of hopelessness, they wouldn't have a motivation to show up on time.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't have a motivation to listen to you and want to give you anything that you want. So if there's any hope in getting what you want, it's about transforming the nature of this relationship.
Mm.
And that probably started 2 or 3 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's tough.
Yeah. When there is a persistent pattern, it takes effort and care to change it. Very often at the heart of persistent patterns like this, there is a lack of trust that the person matters.
But you know, Miki, this is all very well, but we pay him. Not me, I'm just another employee, but the company pays him to come here and do the job. So, you know, where do I have to suddenly start being his whatever, his wet nurse or his therapist or whatever it is that you're asking me to do?
I appreciate the dilemma. And one of the principles that I like to say is, it is not about what is fair. It is only about what is possible. What is possible to create here between the two of you? Do you have a sense?
No idea yet, no.
But if you come to it with an open mind and experiment and try to reach connection, what would happen? Just try in whatever way you can imagine to reach connection here. Let's see what happens.
Okay. You want me to?
He just walked in. It's 10:17.
I think if I'm trying to reach connection, given what happened before, I'm just going to say, morning, Fred. We just talked a little bit about what Susan was doing last week, and that's pretty much as far as we've got so far. So, Susan, would you be able to fill Fred in after the meeting on what he missed? Okay, good. So, are you okay with just going forward from there?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
So I'm concerned about this approach.
Okay.
Because here you're giving up on yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm planning to not have the conversation with him in front of everyone else in the meeting.
Got it. So your conscious choice is to make this moment as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
And have the conversation at a later moment.
And do something different than what happened before, where it was just that fruitless back and forth. I just thought I'd just do something different this time.
And I bet even there was some relief for you, because when you walk in the door knowing you're late, you know, like, oh, once again I'm going to have to face all that sarcasm.
Mm-hmm. It was a little bit better. You know, the piece with getting caught up with Susan later felt like a little bit of a dig, but maybe that was my guilty conscience.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here you are. The meeting is over.
Okay, can I just have a chat with you, Fred, before we go back to our desks?
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
Okay. I want to try something different. So let's see how this goes. I'm guessing that you've got some perfectly good reasons why you're showing up at meetings, 15, 20 minutes late pretty regularly. And I'm aware...
It's not that regularly. I mean, it happens once in a while. Okay, it happens a lot, but not every time. I mean, sometimes I make it.
Right. But on the occasions when it does happen, I'm guessing that you've got something that's, something going on which makes that happen.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm trying to be here. I'm definitely trying to be here, but
Right.
just stuff comes out. Sometimes I'm late.
Right. And I I realize that in all the time, you know, we've been working together, I've never really asked you about that. I've just told you that I want you to be on time, and you know, we've often had that kind of friction when you come in and so on. And I'm just wanting to try and figure it out if there's something that I could understand about it that I don't already understand. You know.
You're asking me why I'm late?
I guess I'm asking more than that. I'm asking how it's going for you working for me and how it's going for you working in a team, you know, because the impression that I'm getting is that you're not particularly loving it very much, and that's part of why that you're not showing up on time, is because you're just not feeling very motivated.
Yeah, I think there's probably some of that's probably true.
So I get a sense that you're getting some traction.
Right.
Different conversation.
It's a different conversation.
The Teflon has cracks in it. Something is coming through.
Right.
He's engaging with you.
Right.
And that's the beginning of change. We don't know where that's going to go. That's the beginning of change.
Right.
So now I want to see, because I'm so committed to whatever the situation, whatever the setup, each person can change what is happening. I want to see, suppose Robert doesn't change at all. What is it that you might do to transform the situation? Because I get a sense if you're regularly late and you're regularly getting, you know, chastised in ways that are really unpleasant, and just have to put all this effort in pushing it away and deflecting it, it's stressful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe you can kind of like try to gather up some courage and see what is it that you would need to say to Robert.
I'm not even sure it's something I could say to Robert. It seems like it seems so big, the whole system, the whole meetings, everyone. I really think the most empowering, self-responsible decision I could make would just be to find a new job. It feels so hopeless working at this organization.
And this is what often happens, is people think that the only way out is out.
Yeah.
And I would like to see if before deciding whether you're going out or not, since in any event it doesn't seem like you're going out. You've been in this
I'm going about 15 or 20 minutes late on the regular.
Yeah, but you're not actually leaving.
Right.
And you have been doing this for 2 years?
Yeah.
So there's usually quite a bit of suffering in that, in just staying and not doing anything about it and not leaving. So let's see, given that you are staying, if there is something that you can do about it. If you were to kind of like boil it down to what's something about the system that bothers you?
I think meetings aren't as efficient or effective as I would like.
Okay, and what specifically, what would you like to see happen?
I'd like there to be more order, more purpose, agenda items kept to, commitments made, follow through.
And what would keep you from putting together a proposal and approaching Robert about it?
My sense is some idea that he's not effective enough at doing that. Like some thought, some judgment of him that he can't do that.
Okay, so really what we're talking here about is about an employee giving feedback to a boss when there isn't necessarily a system in place for doing that.
Yeah, yes.
So if you all remember, we said we would talk about power, so I want to take a moment to talk about that, because